Yo, what is up? So, just a little update on my life and where I'm at. Been off of social media, or not completely off, but I'll get on it to like maybe post a client or something to my story and then I'll delete it. FYI, no, that's not the word. What's the term? I don't know. If you've been wanting to take a break from social media and you think it would do your mental health some good, do it. This is the happiest that I've been in, like, I guess since the last time I did a social media detox break or whatever. It's just like, I think I mentioned this in my last video. It's like whenever you are not on your phone and you just are living and worried about things that really matter in life, you're not like sidetracked by just bullshit that doesn't matter, which is 99.3% of social media. But something I want to talk about today. Oh wait, look at this. Zero sugar mug. So fucking good. But something that I wanted to talk about today that I've had on my mind literally my whole workout. Hopefully I can fit on this, and hopefully this tracks my face and it's still looking at me, but whatever, if it's not. Let me crack this hoe open. Oh my gosh. That is the best diet drink on the market, but I may be kind of too far away for this. I don't know. Y'all aren't watching this video from my face anyways. What I've thought about I lived my entire session. This is like my notebook. I log my sessions in, but today I log my sessions still, check my numbers, etc. But I like journaled my entire session. Like I just wrote on this topic of finding your answer, finding your purpose, striving for something that you think is going to fill your cup, that's the thing that you're looking for, whatever that may be. Okay. I have a couple of talking points that I would like to allude to with that, in that the answer, this applies to diet, this applies to relationship, this applies to career choice, this applies to how many drugs you take in bodybuilding, this applies to literally every aspect of life. There is not universal, that's the word I was looking for earlier. I couldn't think of the word. I put like globally, like there's not one global answer, but I was like, that is not the fucking word I'm looking for. Universal. There is not one universal answer to life for everyone. People are like people will try to tell you what you should do with your life, or how you should live your life. And that shit is crazy to me. I think that people that, whether it be a counselor telling you you have to go to college, or it be your mom telling you you have to do this job, there are lots. I think you should always keep an open mind to everybody, and you could take, like I said in my journal, you can take tidbits from every single point of view. I think that in the grand scheme of life, that you should take tidbits from everybody you listen to. But what I put in my journal today was, instead of taking everything, I've fallen victim to this. Honestly, I've fallen victim to this my whole life until recently. Now that I've grown up and matured, is you can let people give you opinions on what your answer is to life, or what you should do with your life, how you should live. And your answer to life could be a lot of different things. This could be like what you do with your life as far as a career goes, relationships, physique, weight, whatever. The answer to anything, basically. But you're looking for an answer to whatever you're striving for. You can let people give you their opinion. You can take it, you can apply it, or not. But what I think everyone should do, and it's a practice that I've taken up, is I think of it as like TSA for your mental health. You can let people tell you something, and don't let it get all the way to like your psyche. Hear it, think about it, and then really like break down what they're saying and ask yourself, does it apply to you? Does it make sense for you? You know, something I've done in the past, and like I said, I still struggle with this, but I've worked on this forever, is I would listen. And I think that we're all kind of apt to doing that growing up, because we're the young kid that's just listening to the teacher. We're the young boy listening to our mom or dad or whatever. But I think what I've done and what a lot of people struggle with is that they will take whatever the person above them is saying for face value and just run with it. When in the grand scheme of life, in the grand scheme of anything, the answer that they have most of the time is not going to be the right one for you. And if you just think that they are smarter than you or they're older than you, so their answer is right or whatever, you're going to be stuck running like a rat race. You know, I don't like using that term because it's just overused or whatever. But like a lot of people just like take the first thing they hear and fucking run with it. And you have to like hear what people are saying on whatever you should do. Like I've already kind of went over this, but hear what they say. Have like a barrier between your mental health, like your mental subconscious mind, and what they're saying, and really like extract everything they're saying before you apply it. And hold on, I need a drink. Because that's what's beautiful about life, is there's I think that like that is what's really cool about life, is that there's 8 billion people on the world, and that's 8 billion different variations of what their answer to their life could be, what their purpose could be. And there's 8 billion or however many people in the world, different answers, and every single one of them could be right for that one person. You know, obviously some people's, purpose and answer in life are going to look very similar, but no two people's lives and what they will feel fulfilled from are the same. And if you allow someone to dictate what you do with your life forever, and you don't go and try and find your answer and find something for your fucking self, you know how depressing that would be? You know, like if you like you're on your deathbed and you're just thinking like, wow, I lived 79 years and I let other people's opinion on what I should do with my life dictate what I do with my life. I'd be like, yo, doc, pull the plug. I failed. I need to leave. I need to go, because that's just not the life you should live. But with this topic of finding your answer, what I've come to realize with this is, yes, your goals and your answer to your goals, or your answer to your purpose in life, should be of importance, yes. But the things that we really want from those answers, those goals, whatever, is the emotion and the connection and the mental like oomph that those things bring. And what I've come to realize and think and be more happy with is, the more that I chase the feelings that those things bring, the happier I am. Because if you think that achieving X amount of followers, or X amount of money, or X amount of, or X physique, or whatever, I don't really know any other variations of that to say, but if you think that is going to, you've heard it 1,000 times. The people that are at the top say they achieved what they want, and they're like, I'm still depressed. I still hate my life. Why is that? It's because you thought, and people would think that the thing that they achieved, the thing that they wanted, the championship ring, the this, the that, is going to fulfill that. But it's the emotion and it could be validation, it could be connection, it could be the love. like the raw human things, the raw human emotions is what we strive for. And it's not those the worldly things that is truly going to fulfill us. You know, do you really think that God made you and, you know, curated your life and was like, yeah, so his answer is going to be lots of some money and some girls on a yacht and this? No, what he wanted for all of us was love and connectedness and, you know, selfless acts, selfless things. You know, I think that the more that you, and with anything that I've come to realize, and obviously, like I said, it needs to be important what you're aiming for, what you're striving for. Like, let's say it's a certain amount of followers or a certain amount of clients, you know, yes, that needs to be important to you. But if all you're thinking about, it's like, what's the quote? It's like, the more you try to be happy, the less happy you are. The more you're just trying to be happy and not just letting it happen, the more you're trying to find this big old answer to life or whatever, the less you're not going to find it. You're never going to find your answer. You have to let it happen, or let it come to you. You can't just look for it and look for it and look for it, because in the grand scheme of things, like I've already said, it's not there. There's not really an answer. There's not a one size fits all answer. You have to live life to find that thing. And, you know, it takes longer for some people and not for some, but, like, you know, it's just, you know, with so much going on in the world, I think people get caught up in just like suppressing, trying to find something in life, because they're like, what's the fucking point? Which, to be completely honest, I can even see that POV. Things are crazy right now, but like, I don't know. I think you got to have something that you're I kind of alluded to that in my last video. You have to have something you're aiming for. You're like an answer to, you know, a goal, a purpose, a whatever. I gotta get the drink. I'm parched. But if you take anything from this video, just know and just remember, even though the people around you maybe have good intentions for you and your outcomes in life, you cannot take what they say at full value. You can't. You cannot. Like, I ain't gonna say that, never mind. But like, if you got someone around you that has good intentions and they're just giving you all this advice on money and yada, 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 and they just don't know how to handle money, you've got, even though you have the utmost respect for them, you've got to be a fucking adult and make your own decisions in life. You know, it's a lot easier to just be a brain dead person and just, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and then just do what they say, and well, I did what you said, right? And why didn't it work? You have to be a conscious person and make your own decision. You can't just let people depict what you're going to do with your life. I hope you can still hear me. But if you take anything from this video, like I said, you have to go out in this world, this amazing world we get to live in, this amazing life we get to live, and find your own answer. Because that's the fucking cool thing about life, is that we can curate what we think our own goals and purposes within this life. And if you just live in the shadows of everyone else's thoughts of how you should live your life, that's not going to be a fun, fulfilling life. And like, your answer does, another thing to take from this video is, your answer doesn't have to make sense to fucking anyone but you. That's another great thing. No one has to, if in your heart you're like, I don't know, being this custodian at this school and doing these couple of hobbies and being this kind of really good person to my friends and my being a good dog or a dog sitter or whatever the fuck you're doing, that feels like my purpose. If you if you go to bed at night and you feel fulfilled and you're serving a purpose and you're being a good, you know, good disciple of your religion, it's like, you've won. You fucking won. I don't care if you're in poverty. You know, like I've read a thing from Seneca a few days ago. It was like the man who is comfortable in poverty is truly rich. And that is true if that person has purpose and meaning in life. And you have to go out and find that. You hear this all the time. Guys are money. They got all the money in the world. I think I already said this in the video, but they got all the money in the world. They got all the bitches. They got all the cars, and they're depressed. They hate their lives and they kill themselves. It's like, you got everything, dude. But you see some dude walking down the street that has worn the same clothes for the past 10 days, hasn't eaten today, but some of those guys are probably happier than the guys that have everything. It's your answer doesn't have to fucking make sense to anyone except you. And I think that if you can find that, you're gonna be, not that your goal should be just to be, I want to be ahead of everyone, I want to be better than everybody. That's a good motivation to have, yeah, but like, you're gonna be better off than a lot of people in life nowadays. I think a lot of people will just get set in comfortable ways and never go to try to find what their real answer is to life, or what they think their answer is, or whatever. And then they just fucking, they'll work, wake up, drink, weekend, party, sleep, be a fat fuck, yada, 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 whatever. That kind of like the basic American life. I'm not saying that Americans are the only people in the world, but that's just kind of what I've grown up around. And it's just, you've got to go find something. So I know I've kind of made that what to take from this video a long, drawn out points, but it's like, no one has your answer, and you have to go find whatever that is, or you will live a confused, dazed, depressing life. Simple as that. Simple as that. But I need to go in and eat. It's getting late, and my last 2 meals are going to be pushed together now. But a little update on bodybuilding stuff and fitness. I'm down 7 pounds in a week. Training's going great. Got with a new coach. I haven't really started with him yet, though. His name's Tom Schuster. Some of you guys may know him. I'm very excited to work with him. He's a genius. He's one of the smartest people I've ever talked to in my life. He's been a mentor of mine for a while now. And I'm kind of doing my own thing for now I kind of want to get back into my rhythm of things and go to him from a good starting point. That's kind of how I want to run things. Just to also do experiment with some things, whether it be training, diet, whatever, with myself. But that's going good. That's all going great. I experiment with a few different things right now as far as like peptides going too. So I'm doing a little bit of SLU, and I also am trying Retta as well, retatrutide at 1 milligram a week for the Retta, and then 500 micrograms daily before fasted cardio for the SLU. Just, I want to experiment with those things because I think in my opinion, those things are like probably the next big thing in the next 10, 20 years when it comes to, the fitness space. I think that all those things, the more research comes out on them, it could be another fad that just blows away, sure, but like some of them seem very promising, and from the people that are way smarter than me, the things they're saying sounds very promising, and they're very confident in a lot of those. So I want to try them for myself, for my own benefit, kind of selfish, but then also for like future clients to help with them, because I wouldn't ever prescribe a client a certain thing without knowing like the mechanisms of it, how it affects X, Y, Z, whether it be a blood marker or how you feel in the gym or resting heart rate, blood pressure, whatever. So I just wanting to get those because like you can't learn any better than doing it with yourself, because all those peptides or drugs have like such a, they all have like personalized, whatever the word is, responses. So it's like, I want to see what it does to me. So someone maybe that's like a similar person to me would get that kind of response. But even then, they're also different. But yeah, experiment with a few of those. I'll probably cycle off like the SLU and then try something different after that, just to see, and I'll have Tom like overlook that or whatever. But I'll update you guys on more like specific bodybuilding stuff in the following weeks. I've just kind of been doing my own thing, training and kind of just, taking a step away from the whole social media game. But just wanted to come here and talk about that today. I love you guys. God bless you. Have a great great week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.